this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan, and happy Veganuary to everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. So if you're not sure what Veganuary is, if you just heard about it, it's a worldwide movement to get people to try a vegan diet for the month of January. And last year, they had over 500,000 people take this pledge. So it's been awesome watching the growth of Veganuary, as I've been watching here all these years. It's a movement that began in the United Kingdom, and no surprise, they've gotten a lot of publicity over the years on United Kingdom television. So we're going to look at some of the worst debunkings that happened on British television for Veganuary. You're going, why do they even need to debunk Veganuary? It's a positive, peaceful movement, but for some reason, British TV had to roll out several people to debunk Veganuary, and we're going to look at them and see how nonsensical these people and their messages are.
Vegan January,
Correct.
Veganuary, rapidly becoming quite a trend. Is it healthy though, or is it a lot of hype?
And by the way, that's Veganuary's founder, Matthew Glover, being interviewed on This Morning. Anyway, the This Morning host said, is it healthy or a bunch of hype? Well, not sure where they get the idea that veganism is synonymous with health or healthy. That's not part of the definition of veganism. And if you look at Veganuary's website, they clearly state they are moral, ethical vegans. They're doing this for animals, not to harm animals. But anyway, let's move on and see what happens here once they roll out one of my favorite Veganuary anti-vegans of all time, Julie Bindel.
Here we have Julie Bindel. Julie is a journalist, not very much in favour of this whole idea of veganism.
The issue for me is the environment.
So once again, here you have a non-vegan who, like the host, doesn't understand what veganism is. It's not an environmental movement. If you look at the definition of veganism, it doesn't say anything about it being a healthy diet, a health movement, an environmental movement.
The issue for me is the environment, and what you hear peddled by political vegans is that this is an answer to the world's ills.
So Julie, it's not political vegans who are sounding the alarms of the environmental devastation of animal agriculture. It's groups like, say, the United Nations, the governments of the United States, the United Kingdom, and tons of peer-reviewed research. But no, it's not animal agriculture. According to Julie Bindel, the real problem here is vegans eating avocados.
Now, if you look at avocados, for example, which many vegans consume.
Like what? Like only vegans are eating avocados, and the vast majority of non-vegans, they're not consuming avocados? Really? Avocados are a vegan problem.
We're now consuming 6 times the number of avocados here in the West than 5 years ago even. You know, the Mexican rainforest is being completely destroyed.
And that undoubtedly is due to vegans. Vegans, stop eating so many damn avocados. I thought it was another rainforest, Julie, because I saw you on an episode trying to debunk Earthling Ed, and you said it was a whole nother rainforest in another country.
Can't escape avocado. It means that the Brazilian rainforest has suffered because of the overproduction.
So it's obvious that Julie has absolutely no idea which rainforest is supposedly being destroyed by vegans eating all them avocados. But fortunately, Veganuary founder Matthew Glover offered a very rational, cogent explanation to her about what's really destroying the Amazon rainforest.
So you mentioned the Amazon rainforest, but 90% of the Amazon that's being cleared is for agriculture, and it's animal agriculture. So what they're doing is they're using this land for grazing animals, and they're also using this land to grow crops to feed to animals.
So, you know, I don't eat much red meat. I have a fairly healthy diet.
Oh, really, Julie?
And I'm lucky enough to be able to afford free range and organic things where necessary.
Well, that's a laugh, eating all this rich food of privilege, because on a previous episode on the show, she was calling out the vegans, the vegan diet, for having this diet that's out of reach financially, a diet of privilege.
I would like the vegan movement to campaign to make this diet more accessible. They are coming from a position of privilege and denying how difficult it is to have and to provide a balanced diet for your family.
Oh, really? I really would love to have Julie Bindel try to explain to me how the foods that we eat on a daily basis here in Happy Healthy Vegan Cookbook are rich foods of privilege. They're not. And by the way, use code Veganuary to save $5 off the Happy Healthy Vegan Cookbook during the month of Veganuary. Link is down below in the show description. Anyway, let's move on to another episode of This Morning where they tried to debunk Veganuary, and instead of rolling out Julie Bindel, they rolled out a hunter, a female hunter, to debunk Veganuary in front of vegan activist Joy Carbstrong.
But a lot of people are asking the question, has Veganuary gone a bit too far? Is it time we started sticking up for the meat industry.
Really, sticking up for the meat industry. I think they're doing just fine on their own. Just because 500,000 people decided to take the pledge for Veganuary last year doesn't threaten the precious meat industry. Anyway, let's continue on.
Well, we're joined this morning by vegan activist Joey Armstrong, alongside proud meat eater Rachel Currie, who actually hunts and kills her own meat.
Guys,
And what's with this title? Has Veganuary gone too far? Like, wow, they got 500,000 people to pledge to not eat meat for 1 month. If anything, Veganuary hasn't gone far enough. But anyway, let's see what they say.
good to see you. Before we begin, I just want to explain to people what veganism is.
Uh-oh, a non-vegan explaining what veganism is? I'm scared.
It is a lifestyle that avoids all animal foods such as meat, dairy, eggs and honey, as well as animal-derived products such as leather and, as far as possible, products tested on animals. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm surprised. Not too bad, but his definition really didn't hit hard enough about not exploiting animals, but not bad.
And is that something that you feel people should aspire to as the world changes, as we're aware of climate change, as we're aware of better health? You think this is a good thing?
Yeah, of course it's a good thing. If you're against animal cruelty, animal abuse and just killing innocent animals and breeding them, exploiting them, then you, by default, should be a vegan.
Yeah, it's a great point I make all the time. What rational, moral person is pro-harming animals? Like, very few people are. So by default, we should be vegan.
I think Veganuary is an amazing campaign. There's no sinister intention behind it. It seeks to save animals, to help the environment. It's an insane use of our resources to grow all this food to feed to animals and then kill them and take a small morsel of their flesh. It's a positive campaign.
I think Joey did a great job there so far explaining what veganism is, our beliefs. So let's see now how this gets debunked.
I don't shoot deer in the head,
Where
first
do you
of all.
shoot
I
them?
actually shoot them through the heart because it's the quickest,
Okay.
most ethical death.
Shooting someone in the heart is ethical?
Yeah, that's news to me too, that shooting someone in the heart is ethical. You shoot them in the head, that's bad, but if you shoot someone in the heart, totally cool, thumbs up too. And he's calling her out on her nonsense. And what you'll be seeing here is that she's doing this thing that I call just like pooping and throwing on the wall. She just tries everything to see what sticks. And as Joey shows, none of her stuff is going to stick.
I actually was a vegetarian when I was younger for the same amount of years as Joey's been a vegetarian.
I'm not a vegetarian, I'm a vegan.
Well, that's a bad start there for her. She doesn't even understand the difference between vegan and vegetarian.
It didn't work out for me for health reasons. I became really quite anemic and quite poorly when I was little.
Oh yeah, we've seen this excuse before. Oh, I tried going vegan or vegetarian and the way I did it, it didn't work for me. So therefore, it's an unhealthy lifestyle and no one should try it.
That's an anecdote. We have the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, one of the most credible organisations on health on earth, and they say that a vegan diet can be healthy for all stages of life, including infancy.
So there's her first argument debunked, that veganism or vegetarianism is unhealthful and people shouldn't do it. Let's see what her next thing's going to be.
I think fostering high animal welfare standards is absolutely the way that we all should go. I think
Not
it's
killing them is
fantastic.
welfare.
Well, there goes that argument really quickly. This, I believe in high animal welfare standards. How can you believe in animal welfare if you can so flippantly and joyfully shoot an animal in the heart, or was it the head? Which one was it?
Can you answer me the question of how many animals die to protect your crops that you eat?
Oh no, do I detect a combine harvester argument coming?
Or
An
how
appeal
many
to
animals
hypocrisy.
die? How many animals die, and how much biodiversity
tell you that.
dies
Let me answer you.
when we clear rainforests?
Most of the crops are fed to animals in animal agriculture. 90% of the soy, the majority of cropland is fed to animals in animal agriculture. They eat grasses, they eat grain. Pigs eat grain. 90% of the pigs in the UK are factory farms. So all of those crops are going to animals. Okay, if you eat the plants directly,
No,
we
crops
have
in the world are
magnitudes
not
less
going to
cropland.
animals.
75% less farmland used if we
How
adopt a
would you
vegan
describe?
diet.
Okay, the crop deaths argument didn't work. Let's see what else she's going to try to fling onto the walls.
Do you have a dog?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm a travelling activist and I don't have a dog. What's this?
I just wondered if you had a dog, and if you
you
had
have
a
a
dog,
dog?
what you fed it. Yeah, I have 3.
So why do you shoot other animals and not your dog? How do you claim to be an animal lover and shoot deer in the head?
Wow, she thought she had a gotcha moment there, but it instead blew up in her face.
Do you
science is
understand
very
what would
clear.
happen to a woodland and the ecology in that woodland and the biodiversity if we just left deer unmanaged?
Of course, she brought up this argument that hunters are wildlife management experts. They kill animals because they love the animals so much. They're helping the animals by killing them.
So what's that
So
got
if
to
you
do with
look,
the
so if
topic?
you're, but if you're a
What's that got
wildlife
to do with
lover and an
opposing
animal lover,
Veganuary?
surely you would support biodiversity.
I don't support shooting deer in the head.
So,
Again, let's return to this radical political vegan organization, the United Nations, and their report here, which they clearly state that livestock play a direct or indirect role in virtually all biodiversity loss on a global and local scale. So if one is sincerely and truly concerned about biodiversity loss, one shouldn't take up hunting and start shooting animals in the head or heart. They should take up a vegan diet. And that's not my advice, that's the United Nations. But anyway, let's continue on, because I thought it was kind of funny how now even the hosts start giving Joey a hard time.
I'm very angry about this.
It's
And
so-
almost, yes,
The
yes,
earth is being
but almost
destroyed,
like
animals are being
It's almost like you
abused.
can't hear the opposing view.
Because it's nonsense. Crop deaths is
But
nonsense.
that's not nonsense
Yeah,
too.
crop deaths are nonsense because most of the crops are being fed to the animals that people eat.
do you have
Yeah, Joey's right. If the opposing side is just lying, it's going to make you angry. Do you have to be open to and keep your mind open to a bunch of nonsense stuff that's easily disproven? I don't think so. I don't think Joey's doing anything wrong. I mean, I would react, and I do react in the same exact way when I hear this nonsense, this complete just non-fact-based information, people just pooping in their hands, throwing the wall and seeing what sticks, and that's how anti-vegans operate. So anyway, I'll stop here with these all-time greatest debunkings of Veganuary. Let me know what you thought down below in the show notes, and let me know if you saw the original episodes from a few years back. I know we have new viewers since then. You may have not seen these, and it actually pleases me to no end to see some of these anti-vegans. Julie Bindel is one of my favorite all-time anti-vegans because she's just so full of it and so full of herself. So anyway, guys, comment down below, hit like, let me know if you happen to go vegan for the first time during Veganuary. I'd love to hear these success stories, and let me know if you're taking the pledge this year in 2022. So that's it for now, guys. So like, subscribe, and let's stay happy, healthy, and vegan.
Fall to the ground. You've got me spinning circles, round and round again, spinning till I'm dizzy. Where will this all end?